but we haven't talked about and really haven't seen or heard much from Austin Reaves this summer. I mean, it's not a contract year for him, or rather it wasn't a contract year for him. This season it might be, and we're going to talk a whole lot more about that in a bit. But from that not being a contract year from him, he hasn't been under any contract negotiations, hasn't been a free agent, hasn't been in a whole lot of trade talk anyway. So it's been a pretty quiet summer for him, and that could give him an opportunity to work on his game and potentially earn a new contract with their team too. Which, like I referred to before, is something that he likely will be looking for next summer. That's been a big topic of debate surrounding him. If he'll be worth that contract, how much he should get paid with that contract, and the future with him on their team, and if there might be a misdirection with it because of that contract too. You know, a guy that was once a widespread fan favorite for their team that now is legitimate haters from the Lakers team and from the fan base, I guess. Not sure I'd call a bunch of them true fans, but here we are, I guess. You know, and despite the fact that he's improved literally every season, I mean, from his rookie year averaging only 7 points per game on some rather underwhelming efficiency, only 32% from the 3-point line, during his second year averaging 13 points per game on 40% 3-point shooting, onto his third year averaging 15.9 points per game on 37% 3-point shooting, then finally for last season, his fourth year in the NBA, going up to 20.2 points per game, 5.8 assists per game, shooting 38% from the 3-point line and taking a big step offensively. Yet there's many fans that doubt his ability to get better every year, saying that he has reached his ceiling and that he won't get better year by year, and he keeps on finding a way to do it. But once again, here we are, people are saying that about him again, saying that he didn't have a great season last year, saying that he won't get better once again, and that the Lakers are better off trading him rather than keeping him this season. So kind of ignoring the extremists here, what's a more level-headed take for him? What should be the expectation for Austin Reaves for next season and simply going forward with their team? And what would it take for him to get the contract that many believe that he does want from their team next summer? What's kind of the outlook with that, and what should be the outlook here for Austin Reaves? Well, that's obviously up for debate. Again, depending on who you ask, you will get a very different answer. But in my opinion, from a numbers standpoint, he's really already there. Again, last season putting up roughly 24 and 6 per game, not to mention on 46, 38, and 88% shooting splits. That's pretty good, and you really can't complain about that. If you're talking about the rumors about the contract that he might want next summer, roughly a $30 million per year kind of deal, I think those numbers would definitely be worth it. Though if we're talking about, I guess, the eye test and maybe something he should improve on the court that numbers really can't point to, I'd maybe talk about two things here with him. One of which being point guard, ball handling ability, simply being more comfortable with it. You know, he definitely took a leap last season, really has continuously taken a leap in that regard, but he's not quite there yet in my opinion. I mean, I'm not going to say that he has become a true point guard, quote unquote. With LeBron here temporarily, with Luka Doncic here long term for their team, that's not something they'll need him to become, at least not for a full-time kind of player with that. But I would say that he has become a better second playmaking option, a better second point guard option, and a guy that can lead their offense a bit more reliably on the court. I mean, again, he's taken a leap in pretty much every year on offense, especially in regard to playmaking and scoring ability. The assists per game have gone up every year, literally every year with him. But if you watch him on the court, he can tend to get bothered by certain defensive schemes and against certain matchups. Here and there it does throw him off and kind of takes him out of the game. Offensively and simply controlling the ball at times, that's something he does have to improve with. Being a bit more patient on offense at times, being able to read the court and read the defense a little bit better. That's kind of the final step for Austin offensively in my opinion. He doesn't lack the scoring ability, pretty much can get to anywhere on the court that he wants to with a scoring mindset. Is a great 3-point shooter, can play on the ball, off the ball, but if we're talking about his point guard and ability to be more of a floor general, I guess, that is kind of the last missing piece for him. However, that's talking about him offensively, not defensively, where there definitely is more left to be desired with him, and obviously room for improvement with Austin on defense. You know, not the worst defender in the NBA like many Laker fans like to make him out to be. Contrary to popular belief, he was only slightly below average last season. The problem here is that he's taking on a role that he's simply not fit for defensively. I mean, pointing to their starting lineup, there's not really a great defender in there, especially not on the perimeter. And with neither Luka nor LeBron taking on difficult matchups, I mean, they really shouldn't have to do that, and they won't be doing that. Last season, they had a C- grade on matchup difficulty, while Rui Hachimura and Austin had a B+ and A-. Rui Hachimura having an A- graded difficulty, Austin having a B+ graded difficulty, those being the caliber of defenders they matched up with, and simply put, that's not the role they should be filling on defense, but the role they kind of have to fill in their starting lineup. Again, I'd love for Austin to show improvement and somehow be able to fill that role for them on defense, be able to take on B and even A graded difficulty matchup on defense, though I don't see that being a realistic possibility. I mean, simply put, he's more of a guy that's best suited to defend the third or fourth best player on the court, not the first or second best player on the court. That's a problem, and a problem they're obviously dealing with, and a problem that they currently don't have a fix for if they don't change up their starting lineup. So in that regard, I'm not sure how much improvement we can hope for him on defense. If they would change up their lineup and, either put a better defender with him in their starting lineup, or bring him off the bench, I guess that would be a way to get around it. But with his current setup and the way that Austin is currently positioned with their team on defense, I'm not sure how much room for improvement there is with him. Maybe minor improvement here and there, learning team defense a bit better, maybe if he'd become a better defensive playmaker. Actually did show improvement in that last season too, averaging 1.1 steals per game. If he could become better at that, become a better pass deflector, simply get in passing lanes a bit more, then maybe he could show improvement and up his defensive value a little bit. But I'd say athletically he's kind of capped here on defense. Isn't a terrible athlete, but definitely not an elite athlete in the NBA. Isn't going to be made to, again, take on the toughest matchups on defense, kind of like he is being forced to. And I kind of compare it to the Vanderbilt situation. Not a problem with him directly on defense, but more so the problem and the role that he's being made to fill on defense for their team, which he simply shouldn't and really can't do. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.